crazy energy. That was horrible. You might have heard that Disney's coming out with a new movie about Cruella, and they're gonna be calling it Cruella. How original, Disney.
I'm Cruella.
And they probably will tug on our little heartstrings and make us fall in love with one of Disney's most famous villains. But before we do, let's not forget her roots. Today we're gonna be uncovering everything you missed in Disney's original 101 Dalmatians. Let's go! You remember Lady and the Tramp and Jock? You know, that little rascal? Well, he found his way in Lion King, and here we have him again, finding his way into 101 Dalmatians. This time when they're sounding the alarm of the Twilight Bark. But there's more that we see from the Lady and the Tramp game. This dog is Peg. Remember Peg, right? She was from the Pound in Lady and the Tramp. But if you keep looking through this window, you're gonna also see this dog right here is Mr. Busy. There's another celebrity from Lady and the Tramp who gets a hidden cameo in 101 Dalmatians, and I will show you who that is in just a second. But first, there's a lot more fun stuff that we have to spot.
A lot more Easter eggs right here.
Out of the 99 puppies, Lucky's one of the more popular puppies, and you may think that he's named Lucky because he almost died, or did die and then come back to life. But if you look closely, he also has spots on his back that makes up the shape of a horseshoe. And in case you didn't know this, people often associate horseshoes with being lucky. But what are they watching? Well, this show right here is one of Disney's silly symphonies called Springtime. And that short came out on October 24th, 1929. The other TV show that they're watching is What's My Crime?
What's my crime?
There was a real-life TV show called What's My Line, and the plot is pretty simple. The people have to guess who the person is by asking a bunch of questions.
6 down, 4 to go.
And get this, Walt Disney himself was on that show. It's also worth pointing out that Cruella was created with inspiration from a few people, and one of those people were Tahala Bankhead. And she was also on What's My Line. Some of these scenes are also recycled, like the dogs watching TV. That's a recycled scene. Or the cat trying to escape from Jasper. A recycled scene. Or the scene where Jasper's bumped on the head. That's a recycled scene. And we already went into great detail on why these scenes and many other scenes were being duplicated. If you missed that, you should probably go click that and go watch it. After this show, of course. And another thing that we talked about here before is the Castle Thunder sound effect. Very common sound effect, kind of like the Wilhelm scream. Now, if you guessed that they played this in 101 Dalmatians, you are correct. They played this when Cruella walks in after the puppies are born. We hear the Castle Thunder sound effect.
50.
Then again when she leaves. Cruella is clearly the villain in the movie, obviously, and they leave clues to let you know that she's the villain. If you look at her phone closely, you literally see the devil. And her last name is DeVille. Devil. And her first name is Cruella. Cruel. Disney also likes to assign the color green to the bad guys. Green! So if you look closely, Roger's smoking, which is very unhealthy, but his smoke is normal colors. Then Cruella is smoking, and her smoke is lime green. Also, if you look at the hubcaps on her demon car, you will see CD, or Cruella DeVille, her initials. The voice behind this annoying dog is Clarence Nash.
Sound alert!
You might not recognize the name, but you would recognize his voice. He's also the voice of Donald Duck. That's as good as I can do. When Cruella DeVille gets into a rage and attempts to murder somebody just to get her puppies back, she lands in a ditch. If you ever watched this scene and you thought the snow seemed a little bit weird, it's because it wasn't actually hand-drawn like the rest of the movie. It was actually a model car that was used to climb in a hill full of sand. And then they basically cut it and put it into the scene and made it look like it was part of the animation to save time and money. And I couldn't draw snow. Can you draw snow? I can't even draw hands. All my drawings have the hands in their pockets. Several of these scenes of Cruella's car is actually not a drawing, but a scale model of her car. We also see in the beginning of the movie that the dogs take after their pet in appearance and attitude, and this is why all the animals on the farm are acting like they're in some sort of a military. because their pet is a reflection to the animals. And if you pause right here, you can see this farm is owned by retired Major General S.F. Smedley. This is why all the farm animals have a ranking like one would find in the military. Also more military props. And then also we have Jasper, who is voiced by J. Pat O'Malley, and then the Colonel, he was also voiced by O'Malley.
Hi, Joe. Yes, so it is.
And then even the mechanic over here, he was voiced by O'Malley. Later on in the movie, we see that Roger shut the radio off. And if you thought this is because he's frustrated that the puppies are gone, that's not necessarily the case. Yes, I'm sure he's sad the puppies are gone, but the real frustration is the fact that they changed the style of his song for the radio. If you remember, this is how he's playing the song.
Watching you from underneath a rock.
Then this is how we hear it on the radio.
Watching you from underneath the rock.
There's actually deleted scenes confirming this where they had several variations of his song being played for the radio, and they probably picked the most annoying one. We know how much Disney likes hiding random spots in the shape of a hidden Mickey. Well, this is a movie literally based on spots, with millions of spots. So you know they probably slipped several hundred hidden Mickeys in them. Yeah, I said it, 100. Pongo has a hidden Mickey on his shoulder. Here's another hidden Mickey. And for all the haters out there, watch this. This puppy right here has a Mickey on its shoulder, but wait, so does this puppy. And in fact, most puppies usually have a spot on their shoulder. Now Jasper and Horace aren't exactly the smartest thieves, but when they kidnap the puppies, they pretend to be electricians. And if you look on their bag, not only did they misspell electric once, but twice.
No?
Disney made the movie based off the book 101 Dalmatians that was authored by Dodie Smith. And in real life, she had a dog named Pongo. And also in real life, she had a crazy friend that said those dogs would make lovely fur coats. Don't invite that friend to your next dinner party. Now, Dissenford was a make-up town. I can't help but to point out that literally the first half of the town's name looks like they're trying to spell Disney. But one town that wasn't made up was London, and another town that wasn't made up was Suffolk. And that's where Cruella's mansion, Hell Hall, is located. And get this, if you went back on a map from that time era, London just happens to be 101 miles away from Suffolk. Disney also made the movie as a unique artistic form of expression, and back in that time era, there was a popular magazine that had very similar art styles that helped with the inspiration called Lilliput. And when Pongo's trying to find a mate for his pet, here we see a Lilliput magazine. Perdita also deserves the Mother of the Year award. Happy Mother's Day, Perdita! But if you notice, when her puppies are gone, she sleeps on the cold floor instead of in her warm bed. Because how could a good mother sleep on a comfortable bed when she knows her poor babies are all alone out in the cruel world, possibly even out in the cold snow? This also shows how the energy of the movie has just shifted. The puppies were in the light, now the puppies are gone, and our main actors are in the dark. Because now we're completely consumed in the danger. And you may be asking, if all these people clearly resemble their dog, how does Roger and Anita possibly resemble their dogs? Well, they don't actually resemble them because their family isn't complete yet. Once they get married, have puppies, and the danger's gone, and they become a family together, then the humans in this case change to look exactly like their owners, because the humans are the pets in this movie, and that is why the humans literally have spots now. Here's a oopsies though. When they're in the park, Roger has his hat clearly on the seat, then he's magically wearing it again. Then when the two pets get tangled up in the leash, they fall into the pond. But Perdita didn't fall in, she's clearly on dry ground, but somehow she's soaking wet coming out of the pond. But then Pongo is the one that ends up in the pond, but now he's completely dry on the bank, getting wet from Perdita shaking off the water that she somehow magically got. Then lastly, the most famous star from Lady and the Tramp is probably Lady herself, obviously. And when the Twilight Bark Brigade is going off in the city, for a brief moment we see none other than Lady and her boyfriend, the Tramp. Thanks for going on this spectacular adventure with me. Let me know what movie you want to talk about next. Subscribe so you don't miss our next adventure. Thank you to the members for supporting this channel. I love you very much. And let me know what your favorite Easter egg was in 101 Dalmatians. But remember, most importantly of all, let's share a smile. They are contagious. And until next week,
Little rascal, let's go.